So what is going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another Zombies Q&A where we take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs and answer them. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do by now. Drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Anything that you want to know, leave it down below. But as always, let's get into it. Here we go. So the first question of today from Cody Bartman says, what did Nikolai do with the blood vials in the Blood of the Dead Easter egg? Love your videos. So thank you for that. Now this is surprisingly a very popular question. I always see people asking me this. I didn't really think it was something that I needed to answer because in my opinion you can clearly see what happens in the cutscene. But anyway, if we take a look at it, we can see that post-Revelations Richtofen takes Primus Richtofen's blood vials. He says to him, the cycle is broken, Doctor. As such, insurance policies are no longer needed. And then he takes Richtofen's blood. We then see he walks back to Nikolai where he throws Richtofen's vials on the floor, he smashes them, and then we see Nikolai holding his blood vials. He looks at them, and although we don't specifically see him throw his on the floor, right at the end as they're walking away through their rifts, on the floor we see the blood vials. There are clearly more than 2. In fact, it looks to be 6 of them, or 8, it's difficult to tell. I would assume it's 8. But we can see that all of the characters, Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey, destroyed their blood vials. They throw them on the floor. Why? Well, because as post-Revelations Richtofen said, they don't need them anymore. The cycle is broken. The blood vials were only here to keep the cycle going, to continue it as an insurance policy. But since the cycle is now broken, the vials are ineffective, they are destroyed, they are no longer needed. And just to say a little bit more evidence to show in fact that they did break them, if you take a look at the classified ending cutscene, which we know takes place after Blood, none of the Primus characters have their vials anymore, which shows that they did in fact destroy them in Blood of the Dead. We don't exactly see all of the characters do it, however, we do see the smashed vials on the floor. The next question says, do you think that BO4 will be the end of zombies, and will there be any more ether maps? First off, will there be any more ether maps? Yes, that is confirmed. Treyarch did a live stream just the other day where they told us that DLC 3 and 4 will be ether maps, which means we have an equal balance of both chaos and ether on BO4. So far we have 2 ether maps which are classified and Blood of the Dead, and we have 3 chaos maps which are 9, Voyage of Despair and Dead of the Night. DLC 2 will be a chaos map, which means in total we will have 4, and then DLC 3 and 4 will be ether maps, which means we'll have 4 of those, so it's an equal split. So that is the answer to your first question. DLC 3 and 4 are going to be ether maps. But as for will Black Ops 4 be the end of zombies? Well, I would say no. I think I just said yes a minute ago. I actually meant no. But Treyarch also said in that interview specifically that DLC 2 will be the last chaos map this season, which if they're saying that must mean there is a season 2 of Black Ops 4 Zombies happening. I mean, that could also mean the next season could be for their next game, Black Ops 5 or whatever it's going to be called. But to me, that kind of suggests that once DLC 4 is out, where we're going to be getting more maps for the Chaos and Ether storyline. Possibly DLC for BO4 is going to continue throughout the next Call of Duty. For all I know, we could be getting, I don't know, 8 DLC maps in total. I'm not sure, but even if that wasn't the case, I don't think Black Ops 4 would be the end of zombies. It's too big of a thing. Of course, I don't know exactly how Black Ops 4 Zombies is going to end. And actually, that also gets me thinking, if we're going to have 2 more ether maps for this season, we already know that our characters are going off to kill Dr. Monty, which we would assume happens in DLC 4 as the final battle on the Great War. That would make sense, but if that's the case, then what is DLC 3 going to be? Where are Nikolai and the crew going before they defeat Dr. Monty? There's another map in between there, at least that's what I assume. It is possible that the Great War could be DLC 3 and then DLC 4 is something after that. Again, I don't know, let me know your thoughts down below. I'm definitely interested, but I don't think Black Ops 4 will be the end of zombies. I just can't see it happening. It's kind of like a staple of Treyarch's. I don't think a lot of people would be happy, and from the way they said Season 1, it makes it sound like there's more to come. And for those of you who haven't been staying up to date, if you didn't know, DLC 2 has has been announced. It's actually called Ancient Evil. It is our final map with the Chaos crew for this season, and it takes place in Delphi, Greece. I'm assuming this map's going to leave us on a cliffhanger, leave us wondering what's going to happen next until we get to the next season, where I would assume it's going to continue, and that comes out in March. And then DLC 3 and 4, I would think it'd come out around June maybe for DLC 3, and then DLC 4 in around September. But yeah, I don't think Black Ops 4 is the end of the zombie storyline for Ether or Chaos. That's what they've kind of hinted towards. But if you had to ask me, what could our characters possibly do after they defeat Dr. Monty? That's like the ultimate end goal, right? After we kill and defeat Dr. Monty, that should be the end of it. We've already broken the cycle. What are our characters going to do after that? If we kill Dr. Monty, then that should be the end of it, right? We should also take down the Shadow Man, which means no more apothecans. If there's no Monty keeping us in this cycle over and over again, eventually our characters are going to kill all of the zombies. If we don't do that in DLC 4, if there's no zombies, then there's no storyline. I've said previously that possibly we could be playing as the kids when they grow up, but as I said in a previous video, well, the kids aren't in the house. The only two there are is Eddie and Samantha. Nikolai, Takio and Dempsey aren't, so you can kind of throw that one out of the water. Possibly Treyarch could tell some stories that we haven't heard from the past. Maybe they could go back to the Ultimus characters and give us some maps that we never knew about. I'm really not sure, but also that kind of leaves me excited to see where Treyarch are going to go with this, because it's not really very predictable. Anyway, moving on, the next question of the day from Voidstorms5151 says, Black Ops amazing. Love your videos, just wondering why are our characters still getting drops from Dr. Monty even though we're trying to kill him? So yes, we know that Dr. Monty gives us the power-ups, he gives us the perk machines, the mystery box, the weapons, short drawings on the wall. Dr. Monty has been helping our characters out all of this time, or at least that's what he wanted the characters to think. We know that he's actually been playing us all this time. He's been giving us all of these items so we can defeat the zombies, get to the end of the cycle and continue it. The only reason Dr. Monty has been helping us out is so that we continue the cycle. But, as you say, if our characters are now going to kill Dr. Monty, we've broken the cycle, we've discovered that we have to kill Monty so we can end it, that he is the real bad guy. If we're going to kill Monty, then why is he still giving us power-ups? Why is he still giving us perks, weapons and stuff like that? That is your question. And I could say, well, he isn't. We haven't actually seen Monty help us out yet because we haven't had a map after Blood of the Dead. We break the cycle at the end of Blood of the Dead. That is when our characters say they are going to kill Dr. Monty. That is when I would assume Monty discovers that they are coming to kill him. At least I would think he knows. If he's this all-powerful, seeing being that knows everything, then I would think he knows that Primus are now going to kill him. But we haven't actually had a map after this, which would show Monty is no longer helping us. Of course, we've had Classified, but we only saw a cutscene of that, where Primus travelled there to group up with Ultimus, but we haven't actually had a map after Blood of the Dead, so we can't say that Monty's still helping us out. We haven't seen any evidence of it. It would only make sense that he isn't helping us. Why would Dr. Monty want to give us perk drops, weapons and stuff like that, if he knows that we're gonna kill him? So to me, it would only make sense that in the next map, in DLC 3, whether it's the Great War or something just before that, we are no longer going to be getting perks, weapons, power-ups, or stuff like that from Dr. Monty, which would kind of make sense, I guess, for the new perk system. We know we've got a whole different one in BO4, but how exactly we're going to get weapons and stuff like that now, I've kind of guessed maybe the Shadow Man will help us. We know that he's trapped inside of the summoning key, so possibly he could help us to kill Dr. Monty, and then maybe we could kill the Shadow Man after we've used him. That's just an idea. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. This is why I'm so excited to see where DLC 3 and 4 are gonna go, because right now there are 100 possibilities. Delar Gaming YouTube says, hey BOA, I ask a lot of questions on your channel. I was just wondering if you could answer this one. How would you feel if you had to live through the zombie storyline? What would your reaction be? Love your videos. I wanted to answer this one because I just have to say, you know what, I'd be dead in 2 seconds. I can't imagine myself in a zombie apocalypse. No way could I do what the Primus or Ultimus characters do. Yeah, how could I come up against 100 zombies? It's a bit unrealistic. I don't think I could survive against one. So my reaction, I'd be dead. Plus, the storyline is so complicated, I'd have no idea what to do. Like, honestly, it's a difficult one to answer. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What would your reaction be if you had to live through the zombie storyline? Honestly, it would also be scary as well. I'd imagine you'd get kind of used to it after a while. But yeah, I don't think I'd live very long. I wouldn't get past Shinonuma or Doris. That's where my storyline would end. But anyway, guys, there we go. That is all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Only if you want to, of course. Make sure you are also subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Thank you, and until next time, leave your questions down below. Goodbye.